decent heating. Now I felt cold rain inside, and my fingers trembled as I tried to hit my bed. I leaned against the partition to try and hear better, but the rain was too loud. I couldn't figure out why I was so jittery. I was blank. I couldn't remember what had happened all day or yesterday. But I knew you were dangerous to me, and I had to find out why. I opened the door a crack to hear better.
Oh, Jeannie falls for me for the last 5 years off and on. So why don't you wait till she gets dressed and ask for yourself?
Any pictures of her handy?
Say, who is he?
This is police business.
Oh,
And that was all it took to make Irwin dangerous too. Then he was against me. I stood there, hidden by the door, sick of you pawing through my pictures. Even sicker of Irwin fawning over you because you were a cop.
really stacked, isn't she? If she's done anything wrong, don't worry. I tell you all, I can't believe it. I'll cooperate.
I believe you. You're the type.
I couldn't stay out of sight any longer. I slipped into my shoes and stepped out from behind the door.
Ain't you done?
What do you want, mister?
I want to find out a few facts. You did with your mother, don't you?
Sure, the old lady's an invalid. Hey, what happened?
Shut up. I'm talking to Miss Dunn.
She's got a boyfriend, too. She might not tell you herself, Cat.
Get out of the room. Get out and stay out until I call you.
Listen.
Get out.
Okay, all right.
Thanks for that anyhow. But look about Ted Warp. If it's anything you're trying to pin on Ted, then Irwin's right. I won't talk.
I didn't mention that name, did I?
Ted wouldn't do a thing. Nothing wrong.
What time do you usually leave home for work, miss?
How about it? If it's any of your affair.
Yes, I'm afraid it is. Could you be more specific? Describe your routine, say this morning, for example.
This morning. I had such a headache all day, I really don't know about this morning. Actually, I can't remember. Most mornings I get up about 6:30 and fix breakfast.
Does your mother eat with you?
My friend, Mr. Irwin, told you. My mother's not well. She stays in bed in the room.
And you leave her breakfast ready for her?
That's right.
Being sick, your mother hasn't much appetite, has she, miss?
No. I leave her teeth up on the kitchen table with the tea measured out in a strainer ready to pour hot water through. Now, mister, you'd better tell me what...
How long you been going with this fellow? What's his name, Ted?
A year or so, but...
How old are you? I beg your pardon, miss.
About 30.
Plan to marry him?
Why, yes, as soon as... Well, as soon as possible.
What with supporting your mother? Excuse me. Prices nowadays, the dollar don't go far.
You'd better take care of that cold, mister.
Oh, thank you. Are your mother and Ted Wark friendly?
Better take care of that cold. I repeated that stupidly so as not to hear your questions. Then I stared at something you fished out of your coat pocket. I felt the arteries jumping on the sides of my neck. You were looking at my neck. Maybe I could ask you sometime if that was a tip-off you learned by studying people like me. You toyed with the thing in your hand and picked up a sliver of light from the floodlamp. Sparkled like a jewel. Only it wasn't any large jewel in any of the junk on my bureau. It was a common tea strainer made out of bright new copper. You watched me and spun the thing by the handle between your finger and thumb. I couldn't stop looking at the shiny wire, mesh like a net.
Well, miss, what do you say? Are your mother and Ted Wark friendly?
Suddenly my mind cleared. Everything I'd managed to block out came back. Everything. There was no more escaping the past. Or you. Stop playing with that tea strainer.
Huh?
Put that thing away. Get it out of my sight. Can you faint that away and keep sitting in a chair talking and acting normal? I did, Mr. Detective. At the sight of the tea strainer, you kept spinning between your fingers. A cold blackness paralyzed me, and our two voices seemed to be coming from a great distance. My stomach felt sick. You hit at me with questions, and I fought with all my will to keep from giving dangerous answers. The rain banged louder on the skylight. A floodlamp sputtered out. and my breathing quieted down.
You said your mother and Ted Walk are friendly?
Yes, I told you. Where did you get that tea strainer?
Five and dime store. Why, miss?
Nothing.
You leave your mother's breakfast ready for her?
Hadn't you asked me that before, too? I wasn't sure. But the words started in memories flashing through my mind like jumping movie scenes. You studied me with your tired, expressionless eyes. But you couldn't see into my memory. The nagging clatter of my alarm clock at home was waking me one morning. Any morning except today. The others were all alike for the last 10 years. All right, you devil. Get up. Another day.
Dear, are you awake?
Yes, Mother. Sleep well?
I'm always in pain, you know that, dear. If you're up, you could rub my back a while before you have breakfast, dear.
Yes, Mother.
Oh, now you're so fortunate to be able to eat a hearty meal and have a career that takes you out into the world. While I lie here in pain, oh, I'm not complaining. It's just...
Yes, Mother. Hadn't you better take your medicine before I rub your back?
Oh, my medicine. Oh, yes, indeed. And, Jean, don't forget to have the prescription refilled. It's getting low, and I can't bear to
I'm
stay
sure there's
without...
plenty, Mother. I'll get it for you now.
Well, I wish you would. I don't know how.
I went into the bathroom while Mother kept droning on and on. The bottle was almost empty. Mother, you haven't been taking more than you should of this, have you?
Don't be absurd. You heard the doctor say that my medicine, more than one capsule a day, is poison.
Talked and talked, accusing me of being careless with her medicine and neglecting her. She said if it hadn't been for me, she would still be on the stage, safe. But I realized she was in pain and unhappy, and some mornings I was afraid all of my strength would be drained before I could get away from her, especially when she harped on Ted and me getting married.
Dear, don't be angry, but I simply must ask whether you're serious with your young man this time.
This time,
But after all, Jean, in the past years, there were several young men I certainly thought you were going to become engaged to. And every single one lost interest.
oh, Mother.
Oh, yes, they did. You can't deny it. At your age, dear, a girl has to consider her future. Now, that young man, William something, he surely wanted to marry you. And he had a bit of money, too. Now, why did he stop coming to see you, dear?
Was it anything you might have told him?
You're trying to use me to excuse your own shortcomings, dear. What on earth? How could I scare away any of your young men? When I was on the stage, young men used to flock around me like bees. And now your pet certainly thinks well enough of me to bring me flowers to look at my scrapbooks. Even if my own daughter...
I wonder how long that will go on. When we ask him whether he thinks the daughter has the right to let a helpless old invalid die alone.
Horrible, horrible girl.
Or have you asked him that already?
After the sacrifices I've made for you, ruining my own health, destroying my youth and my career, so that you would have the best from life.
Oh, Mother.
Perhaps the easiest way for both of us would be for me to not try and hang on to this mortal coil any longer. To close my eyes and never wake up.
She used death as a weapon against me many times. I felt weak and nauseated, although I was certain she was bluffing. And I would rush out with no breakfast, in a panic to feel the healthy life of the city around me and lose myself in the traffic and crowds.
Rotten deal, isn't it, miss? Honest, I'm interested in you and Ted Walk. You serious about each other?
What are you getting at, mister? What's happened? I have a right to
You
know.
two really in love?
He paid no attention to my panic. He kept prodding me with that question and twirling the tea strainer. Faster now, it seemed to me. Was I really in love with Ted? I couldn't have answered even if I'd wanted to. How can you tell a stranger your dreams?
Miss, tell me, exactly what's the matter with your mother? What treatment is she getting?
That is funny. Ted asked almost the same question last night. You give a lot to know about last night, but you'll never get a word out of me. If you had seen Ted and me last night, you wouldn't have had to ask if we were in love. one of those miserably few times I found a neighbor to come sit with Mother. And Ted took me to a little neighborhood bar where they have a jukebox and postage stamp dance floor. We were dancing, crowded in like cigarettes in a pack.
How about a kiss, baby?
Ted, not right here in public.
Nobody here but us, Jeannie.
Us and the mob. Anyway, it's just as crowded as Ciro's, they tell me.
We'll get to the ritzy places someday, baby. We got it coming to us.
Oh, darling, you make it sound real sometimes.
You stick it out a little longer, baby, and it will be real. Just trust me. There's always ways.
Sure. $1 million.
Yeah, $1 million would help, wouldn't it? Don't forget the groove, honey. Your feet had enough of my dancing.
You want another beer, you mean?
Well, there is a boozer. Hey, watch where you're going, you big ass.
Ted, don't start a fight. Come on.
I should have poked him. Well, maybe you'll tame me down, baby. Here, sit next to me, huh?
I don't want to. It's not that. But if anything happened to you, I'd die inside of me.
Oh, baby, I don't know the words like you do. How can I tell you?
You don't have to tell me in words, Tom.
I want to, though. Somehow I want you to know. I love you, Jeannie. More than at first. I was crazy about you then.
We'd be so happy
Together. Yeah, that's what we both want more than anything else in the world, isn't it, baby? What? Matter? No, there's nothing the matter. I'm just figuring things out.
Where you folks at?
What? Oh, well, what'll it be, honey?
Beer's fine.
2 beers, huh?
Coming up.
Then we'll have to be leaving. I promised Mrs. Grogan I'd get home by midnight.
Oh, baby, you promised me we'd make a night of it.
I'm sorry. But Mother was worse this evening before I left.
Jeannie, what really ails your mother?
The doctor has a long list. She's pretty bad off.
Nothing's bad enough for her to keep you chained down like a slave.
Ted, tell me the truth. Has she gotten to you with
Oh, honey.
Ted, please. I want the truth.
Well, I bring her flowers and try to win her over to me. She says, what do I want to do? Kill her by taking you away?
Somebody marked it down for somebody. You know that, don't you?
She did.
I bought it.
I know that.
I got every last one. They had
Maybe
brought it.
it's because she's sick. Maybe she's not getting the right treatment. Say, what is the doctor giving her?
Some stuff in there. Mixed with
So
drink.
I got all 5 of them.
Right. That's poison.
And they had which
Yes,
off for
she
dog
has to be
6.
very careful.
I got 4 of
You
them.
need a prescription for that, don't
You
you?
know the juice that
Here, I'll show you the prescription. I have it somewhere in the home.
I got they had all the bowls, you know, the bowls and little bowlies and all that.
Excuse
I
me.
got all,
sir.
I ain't got
I'll
all
freshen
of
up and
them.
we'll
I got all the bowls they had and all the small folder lids they had. And some little folder plates.
The mirror and that dingy little pattern.
I got 5 of each with 5, 4, 5.
But I could see all those things all too clear if I tried to dab off.
And I bought you some hamburger pickles.
My face
Like
was
you ordered
always-
them. And I bought you some pictures.
I try to remember how I looked 10 years ago when I had the screen test. I was garbled and Dietrich, younger, the director said. It was then my mother started getting sick and needing me. I looked into the mirror and saw my strange
And I got some
face.
cheese and she was $1.89.
That was when the whole plan
I got 4
formed in
packs of
my
broccoli.
mind.